Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with another update to the Days of Thunder City Chevrolet Lumina. And things are looking pretty close. I think we're nearing the home stretch here. So taking a closer look at it. Now, I think the engine is pretty much done at this point. Got the wiring, got the carburetor and the air cleaner on it, got the full belt assembly and the fan in place. I don't have the chassis together, just got that setting together. But I do now have the seat and the pedals in place, and those are permanent. And underneath, I've got the oil tank in place, I've got the engine set up with the exhaust pipes ready to go. And in the last video, I mentioned how the pipes need to both go out the infield side. So I had these made, and these should line up exactly with the exhaust tips as they are. And those will give me something to glue some aluminum tubing to finish off the pipes. So at this point, I just need to add the drive shaft and the rear drive belt, but otherwise the bottom's done. Got to add the radiator and the hoses for that up front, front and rear dashboards, the fire extinguisher. Really not a whole lot though. Oh, and I do need to add the vent hoses. And I was looking at those and wanted to show you what I was going to do with those. If you haven't built one of these, the vent hoses go in the back and they're corrugated tubes and they look like this. And you can probably see what the problem is, because as soon as we get it off the parts tree, when we need to do the cleanup on it, we got this big seam right down the middle and it's going right across all those corrugations. And normally what I've done with the other parts in this kit is I either scrape off the seam or take a sanding stick and just file that off a little bit. But instead, I'm going to clean it off with a saw. Because if I sand it or scrape it, I'm going to end up with a flat, smooth spot, and I don't want that. I want to keep the corrugations. So instead, I'm going to just drag it across like this. And it's not quick. I'll give you that. It's not a quick method, but you can see just a few swipes and it's already starting to peel off some of the yellow. You can see that dust there. And then if I go across the whole seam like that, once it's painted, it'll look like this. And you can see there's no seam anymore, but it does still have the corrugations. So that's what I like to do with these. And like I said, it's not the quickest method in the world, but it does work out pretty well for preserving that surface detail, and so I just wanted to show that really quick. And I did do that with both of the hoses in this kit. So now these are both ready to be installed. So once I get the final glue job to the roll cage done, I can get those installed. I also got the first coat of paint on the body. Now this is Tamiya TS16 yellow. Nothing fancy about it, just straight out of the can for right now. I do need to do a little bit of cleanup on it, probably a little wet sanding and polishing before I put on the green. But overall, I think that turned out not too bad. And for the green paint, I'm going to be going with bottle from Model Car World, their neon green gloss lacquer. Now, this is supposed to be a match to the Days of Thunder green, so hopefully that's true. I mean, it looks pretty good next to the yellow. I'll give it that. But then that had me run into another problem, and that is that my cheap old airbrush finally bit the dust. So I had to go and get a new one, and I picked this up. Everything that I've seen had it generally highly rated, and I'm gonna give it a shot. It's got the external mixing bottles, which I prefer to the cup, although it does have the ability to take a cup in it. And yeah, so I'm going to be giving this a try in the next few days, and assuming it works the way that I want, I'll get the rest of the body painted. And I will include that in the next video. I had somebody ask to show how I planned on painting the fog effect between the green and yellow. So I will include that in next week's video. You can check back then, and thanks for watching.